back to Total Disclosure across all platforms where we explore the mysteries of the unknown. From sightings to conspiracy theories, we dive deep into the unexplained occurrences in our skies and on the ground. And if you're intrigued about the possibility of extraterrestrial life being here and in the cosmos, then you're in the right place. Today, we have a really fun guest with a huge insight into the military industrial complex, which is something I really am fascinated here with. And that's why I have the people I have on. Nancy THAMES is ex-DOD official, and we're going to bring her in and welcome her to this Total Disclosure for the first time. Thank you, Nancy. I probably butchered your last name just because you said it to me like 3 times, and that's how I do it.
Yes, that's okay. My name is Nancy Timms. That's okay. Yes, thank you for having me. I'm very happy to be here. You know, this is a long-awaited event, and, you know, I think it's just the beginning of it. I don't know how long it's going to take, but we have to be in this for the long haul regardless, and it's important. Every little bit of information, every person that we can touch and also motivate to get involved is very important, because we all need good information. We've got plenty of misinformation out here. So it's good that we get people out to tell the truth, you know, and just spread the word and let people know that they are a part of this, because in my opinion, humanity is the disclosure.
Yeah.
And that's because we're going through an evolutionary phase of waking up and going through an ascension. And I think we're finally understanding who we truly are. And by the time we get to the end of this ascension and evolutionary phase, it won't matter whether the government tells us or not. They've told us enough already, in my opinion, but the world wants more, of course. But if there's enough evidence out there, doesn't take a lot of intelligence to understand that they've told us enough, and we have to do a little homework ourselves. And the way I understand it is humanity waking up and finally becoming more intelligent and more conscious about these things, more aware, and our ability to see more things in the sky will increase. And that's going to answer a lot of the questions and take a lot of it off the government.
Well, that, you know, it's kind of weird you mentioned that. It's almost a synchronicity. Yeah, it is a synchronicity.
Yeah.
Because I've, you know, recently, especially recently with the geopolitical landscape, things being tense and, you know, a huge, I can't even stress the fact of the monumental election that is in the upcoming months is you know, it's going to shape the way the world, which way we go.
Exactly.
And I think that even though disclosure and UFOs and the ET agenda wasn't brought up in say the debates, or hasn't been a main focus of any of the parties, that's not to say that behind closed doors it isn't, because
exactly,
I think it absolutely is.
Oh, it has to be.
It has to be. You've been, what I didn't say in your intro is you've also had a lifelong contact experience. So you not only are you an ex-DOD official, but you've also had a lifelong experience with some sort of non-human intelligence. And I really want to get into that. And of course, you know, we'll get into, you know, time for disclosure and what you're doing and all that, and all the great stuff that you're doing now. But I want to really get a look into Nancy Timms, the person who is the experiencer. Now, maybe start from the beginning.
Okay.
For anyone who doesn't know you.
Okay. I'm a lifelong contactee with interdimensional beings and extraterrestrials. Not only am I a experiencer or contactee, but I'm also in the extraterrestrial realm. I am a representative of Earth. I am a person that they have been with all my life. I'm 64 years old now, and this has been going on. My first conscious memories are at 2 or 3, and they have been with me and followed me throughout my life with physical uh, contact. And when I say that, I mean like holding hands, touching skin, um, embracing each other, face to face conversations. So not only do they have they watched me and prepared me for this day to get me to be to where I am today to be able to speak to people, but they also have a pretty good idea of what it's like to be a human being through my eyes and through other people's eyes like me that have done the same thing. So what I have found out through the process of just having my visitations, and I learned how to have more conscious time with them, because I found out very quickly throughout the years that because of them being telepathic, they whatever we feel, they feel tenfold the amount. And feelings of anxiety and fear, sadness, any of these type feelings, in their reality, they do not experience this. So when they sense this and feel this from us, this is not something they enjoy. They don't know what to do with it. They don't like it, to be honest with you. They just don't like it. So they will either consciously tap you out or do it or touch your head and put you in a non emotional state. And that way you can fully go through the experience. But the only problem with that is you lose all the emotions, but you can still function and go through it. But when you come back, this is where people talk about having missing time or fragmented memories, because they really just don't like being around all this fear and all this stuff. So they just tap you right out. And so, and a lot of times, even with me, I can remember after the experience coming back conscious while walking to the bed and them holding me, getting me put in the bed. And it's like, wow, what did I miss? And that's what I missed, was the part where I was so afraid. And because of me being so afraid, they blacked me out. So
do you think that you think that that is what is the they're experiencing are anxieties on a
yes.
personal level, and they've evolved past that kind
Oh,
of
in
do you
their
think that they
reality, there is no wars. There is no negativity. They showed me what we're doing. We're going up a DNA ladder. They are a billion years ahead of us in evolution. They've been through the ladder, and they've seen other species beings go through this same process. This is not their first rodeo when it comes to
an
uh,
ascension?
ascension and evolution and all this kind of stuff. And they basically have been waiting for us to reach this point, and we're at the peak point right now. We're at the peak point. Not
Right.
only are we ascending and leaving kind of the 3D realm, we're accelerating and moving up into the fourth or fifth. So, and as that happens, these are not physical places that we're going, they are higher levels of consciousness.
And
So,
that's
yes, so
it
our
goes with what
awareness, our standing will be better.
sorry, I didn't mean to
It's okay.
the internet kind of that's what people don't understand sometimes about doing virtual interviews is sometimes the internet will affect and it'll make you overlap each other. But what I was gonna say is I've had this theory, and you kind of said it without saying it, is that they've almost evolved past in order to get to this place of evolution or ascension that is required. You need to leave behind things like war, conflict, because those things, I mean, they're just so destructive in their nature. I mean, look at our technology. Our technology is almost a representation of humanity. It's combustible engines.
Mhm.
Um it's controlled explosions and fire, and it's just very primitive and chaotic.
Yes,
But
it's
when we think of these higher beings or these UFOs or whatever, we think of just blissful peace. And that's a common theme
Yeah.
among experiencers,
Yes.
is when they're with them, is this very peaceful
Yeah.
environment.
Exactly. That
So
the way that they see us, we are one and we are all connected. And that includes not only us with our planet Earth, and we need to recognize the fact that our planet is a living conscious being.
yeah,
All of the creatures on our planet are living conscious beings. So our planet and all living conscious beings, plants, trees, water, air, etc., they have all been sitting around waiting for human beings to catch up and understand our connections, recognize our appreciation for them and our existence, because we were all put here to support each other. And not only that, but that extends out into the cosmic realm, our connection with the universe and with extraterrestrials and interdimensionals, because we are all one and we are all connected. And whatever we do on this planet, especially misusing our environment, playing with nuclear technology and stuff,
that was
whatever we do, it not only could wipe us out in our planet Earth, that's beautiful, and all living things on it, including innocent bystanders, indigenous people, whales, reefs, etc. But it also would ripple into the universe and affect them. And they're not going to let us do that, because we think we're the top dogs and we're all that Earth is all about us. But there's a lot of things that are alive and conscious beings on this planet that are just as important as we are. Yeah,
if not more.
exactly. So we have to go through this process of evolution in order to maintain our species for
It's
future
almost
generations. Yes,
it,
it's inevitable
it's
and it's
almost
happening.
it's almost like we're we're a teenage boy, and we think we're a man, right?
Yes,
And it's not till you get smacked around by someone a little stronger that you realize, oh,
your
oh wait,
vulnerabilities. Yeah,
yeah, that's not
yeah,
how, okay, that's not how the world works.
right.
That's,
And in
you
our case,
find
we
your
say the
place.
universe, we've got to cooperate with the universe. It's not just our little planet, because our planet's not very happy with us.
No,
So, you know,
and isn't it funny that, because we talk about the earth like as a place, but
yeah,
no, it's a thing in itself.
yes,
It's a reason that our ancestors had names for it, like Gaia, and
hmm,
because it's the life giver. It
yes,
is, it gave
yes.
us the place. And people religious, I don't know about where your religious
I'm
views
spiritual. I'm
lie.
not religious.
Right. But I think we are very blind when we are overly religious, because
Yes.
we it's ingrained into us, into these religious views, that we are the top, that we are to be held in this regard, and
Yeah.
that we are it, and that's not the case.
No,
And
it's not.
can you Ca can you bring me back to at least your first conscious experience with these beings, and why did they lead you on the path? Because you
Yeah.
ended up in the Department of Defense. That's
Yeah.
that seems
Yeah.
like a deliberate thing. So
It
I'd like
was.
to know
It
about that.
was. Everything in my life, they have instigated and opened doors and avenues. It's just like me sitting here right here with you.
Hmm.
These things are, they knew long before I was ever born that all this was going to happen here on earth. So what happened was, when I was 30 years old, I witnessed my two sons being taken for their first time. And these were different beings that came for them that normally come for me. So when they did, I have the ability, I know when they're going to manifest in the room with me. My frequency